I don't think, for the most part, we appreciate just how much our thoughts are creating the world we live in. I mean, it's not something we give a lot of thought to, but I think it's becoming increasingly obvious and certainly undeniable from my point of view that where you put your attention, energy flows and you create a reality. I mean, we've spoken about it often enough when we look at people who talk themselves into a state. We all do it. We all give energy to a particular thought pattern, a process. And increasingly, it should be obvious that when you give energy to a thought, that there's a physiological reaction. This is obviously contained within the body, but when you dwell upon a particular thought, or you give rise to a particular emotion, you identify with the emotion, which just means you give more energy to that particular thought that's running in the background. So your physiology changes. We've also spoken at length, and using the simple example of Konstantin Cavafy's poem Ithaca, where in the first verse he talks about the various Greek demons, because he was Greek, and how we will not meet these demons on the road if we do not carry them in our soul, if we do not set them up before us. And no one would, I think, consciously set demons up on the road before them, but it's just an aspect of shadow. This gets a bit more, I don't know, twisted, complicated, whatever, because we we identify with the shadow in as much as that we're a victim to circumstance and situations that arise seemingly out of nowhere that create problems or discomfort for us. And so then we try to do something about the discomfort. We fail to recognize that we're responsible for the discomfort in the first place. And if we had a way to change our mind frequently, then it's likely that those problems wouldn't arise. We've done this in programs in workshops before, where we have identified with particular phenomena, but then notice how that makes us feel. And then by changing our thought, we do this as a deliberate process, we change our thought and the reality changes. What I think we don't really recognize is who and what is creating the problem in the first place. Problems that we face in life, challenges, upsets, whatever. We tend to believe, and I've spoken about this a lot as well, that our current reality is based upon the past. So where we have given energy consciously or otherwise to thoughts, beliefs, etc. in the past, they manifest in the here and now. So we're stuck dealing with the results of information, energy that we've given to certain concepts in the past. So we get caught then in the loop of trying to fix or control or manipulate or moderate the manifesting reality. If we were to understand that our world is like a roll of Super 8 movie, where you've got lots of little frames, but when you play that film back through a projector at a certain speed, you get a moving image. And this is how you string your life together. So your life is a product of the past. All the time you remain unaware of what's going on. So we remain victims to a belief pattern that we have become familiar or comfortable with over many, many years, possibly lifetimes. And we continue to give energy to that belief pattern, thinking that the world that is created, that's manifesting, is actually reality. When in actual fact, if we were to be able to take a step back and notice each frame, each moment, and how each moment is going to create the next moment. But that's only because we're still addicted to past conditioning and experience. Very difficult to understand life in any other way. For most people, they are totally involved in creating an ongoing reality based upon their past. But it doesn't have to be that way. When we recognize what's going on and we start to control or regulate where we put our attention, then reality must change. But for the most part, we just keep repeating the same old mistakes, the same old patterns, the same old expectations, same old conditioning, which just perpetuates a story. But the story itself is just a fabrication. Everything that we experience is a fabrication made up of our expectations, which arise out of experience, which arises out of a particular structure or a belief pattern that we were indoctrinated into. The belief pattern itself is not true or real in any sense of the word. It's just something that's been passed down by our parents, siblings, society, who were also lost in the drama, passing down story. No one passes down the truth of the situation. It seems as though this is something that we have to discover for ourselves.